talk a little bit about KD as well, because the man dropped 32 points on 12 of 18 from the field last night, right? You guys know, have had to sit next to me for years when I say, hey, there's a difference between who is the MVP of a particular season when the qualification is who had the best stats in the regular season versus, oh my God, who would you pick if you had to play a basketball game for your house? And who would be your first pick on the blacktop? And that player right now, do you guys think that has become Kevin Durant?
All I'm going to say is that Kevin Durant recently said to keep him out of all of these conversations. So for today, I'm going to respect his wishes because I don't want any problems. I don't want any problems with Kevin Durant, but I think he's a really good player.
This is a positive conversation.
Oh, okay.
But it does inevitably force you to pit players against each other, which I don't like. I will say to me, full health LeBron still gets the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. But Kevin Durant was on pace before his injury to be one of the 10 greatest players of all time and is right back to being that player. He has been majestic in the playoffs. And it's not just the scoring. The first two games of this series were two of the highest volume pick and roll games for KD all season because they're just going right at Brook Lopez with James Harden. Now, guess what? He's done amazing. He blocked Brook Lopez, who's a giant, in the post, put the ball in Brook Lopez's mouth. He's been cutting. PJ Tucker can't keep up with him on cuts. He's doing everything.
He's a 6'11" two guard that
he's 7 feet tall.
Okay, I just say that because he respectfully likes to call himself 6'11", and I'm just gonna start respecting the man a little differently. What I'm saying though is like he handles it like a point guard. He shoots it like it's Stephen Clay, and he does every single thing on the court. It is absurd trying to guard this man. And you have Giannis, who is 6'11", 7 foot, with the same defensive. If you had to build a 6'11" defender, it would probably be Giannis. So these two are going at each other, and Kevin Durant is getting the better of him so far in this series, especially on that offensive-defensive matchup. So I just don't know if there is an answer. And yes, he is one of the great offensive players. And to your point, he'll probably go down as one of the top 10 players of all time.
Well, one of the answers has not been able to be PJ Tucker. He's just roasted PJ Tucker over and over again. I think the Bucks have to make a difficult decision. If PJ Tucker's on the floor to guard Kevin Durant and has no chance, do you still start him? Do you start a better shooter? Do you try Drew Holiday on Kevin Durant? Because that Tucker matchup is not working.
Well, I'm going to ask you a little bit tomorrow about adjustments before they play that next game. First of all, I am 5'4", so Zach looks 7 foot tall to me. So that being said, I honestly mean this question not as some pitting anyone against each other, but more as a compliment to Kevin. I thought he was on the precipice of being the first guy I would pick in a game of pickup a couple years ago. I thought that he was really moving into that position, and then he tore his Achilles.
I agree.
And it derailed sort of his continued ascension in the league. And frankly, again, as a compliment to KD, just the tremendous amount of work he has put into his game. I know he is nearly 7 feet tall, but sometimes I think when we make that point, and it's a valid point, it discounts how much effort he had to put into to be the first 6'11", 7 shooter who could shoot with that kind of reliability, play defense the way he has learned to play defense.
Handle it, everything.
All of that.
The handle is the problem.
And to me, this is a question about giving Kevin Durant credit, because I think that he is at the top of his game after an Achilles injury, and possibly at the top of everyone's game. And that is a cool thing to be able to recognize. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.